What's up, Nakamas? We got ourselves a copy of the ST-12 Zoro and Sanji deck. And for this video, we're gonna be opening this up so that you will know what you will be getting in case if you want to open this starter deck. So first things first, the box. So it has a slightly different size than the regular ST start deck that we have. So I think I have a copy. So I have an ST-06 here. So as you can see, it's much smaller than the ST-06. And however, it's much thicker than the ST-06 one. So this is our standard starter deck package up until now. So I think moving forward, it's gonna be the same size as this ST-12 one. But let's see. So let's open up this bad boy. First, let's open the sides. Okay. So inside you'll have, I think this comes with all of our deck boxes. So we have our rules. And this is your deck. So it comes with your standard 10 dons. So this is your don. And wow, looking at this looks very good. Zoom it a little bit in. This looks very nice. So first things first, oh, it's actually textured. This looks really good in person. So I really appreciate what they did here for the leader. The usual multicolored wherein you have 4 life and then 5k. So this is Roronoa Zoro and Sanji. So Dawn X1, when attacking and once per turn, you may return one of your characters with cost of 2 or more to its owner's hand. Then set up to one of your characters with 7,000 power or less as active. So I think that's a pretty strong effect. And I'd be very excited on how people will try to build this leader moving forward. Next, we'll have our SRs. So we have 2 copies of Mihawk. So this looks very cool. So this new Mihawk is a 3-cost 4,000 attack Mihawk. The effects that on play, if you have 2 or less characters, play up to 1 Muggy Kingdom type or / attribute character with a cost of 4 or less other than Dracul Mihawk from your hand rested. You'll only have 2 copies of this though. So if you want 4 copies, you need to buy 2 ST-12 decks. Only 2 copies of Ivankov. So this is also an SR. So the ability on this is that on play, reveal 1 card from the top of your deck and play up to 1 character card with a cost of 2. Then place the rest at the top or bottom of your deck. When attacking, once per turn, draw a card if you have 6 or less cards in your hand. That's pretty cool. Again, I think you'll need 4 copies of this one, so you better buy 2 copies of this deck. So for the other cards here, I think these are gonna be pretty standard. Will not make the video very long. So we'll have 4 copies of Quina. And then you have like your vanilla 3 cost 5,000 power. Then you have 4 copies of Perona. Oh, this artwork of Perona looks actually cool. So this is a 4 cost 6,000 vanilla. Then we have 4 copies of Yosak and Johnny. Oh, we have 4 copies of your 2k counter, Rika, the girl that gave Zoro the rice balls. So on top of being your 2k counter, on play you may rest 2 Dons. Then if your opponent has 3 or more life cards, set up to one of your slash attribute characters with a cost of 4 or less as active. Very cool art here for Zoro. Green, it's a 4 cost 6k. Oh, you only have 2 copies of it though in the deck. So the ability of this Zoro is Dawn 1, when attacking, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. So I imagine you definitely need 4 copies of this one. So your vanilla one costs 3,000. So this is the Elephant Honmaguro. So this is the elephant bluefin tuna that Sanji is cooking. Or if you have seen the live action, Sanji also cooked that bluefin tuna there. Then you have Sanji, same as Zoro. You only have 2 copies of Sanji here. Dawn 1, when attacking, if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, this character gains 2,000 power until the start of your next turn. Oh, another 2k counter. So they've given us 2 cards with 2k counter. This is a Purin, Charlotte Purin. 4 copies of each of your 2k counters in this deck. And it has a pretty interesting ability. So in your main, you can return this to your hand. So you can drop this in the early game, then return it to your hand and use it as a counter. 4 copies of Zeph. Of course, if you have Sanji, there should be Zeph. 2 copies of Duval. This is a pretty strong card. 2 cost for 1,000. It is a blocker. Then on play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them at the bottom or top of the deck in any order. So that's pretty cool. And remaining, you'll have a generic 2 cost 4,000. Then 2 copies each for the events for Zoro and Sanji. So that's it for the deck. I think, especially looking at this leader card, I really like what they did here. That's a very pretty cool. It's also textured. So they did a pretty good job there. So if you want to build around this deck, I suggest you, then it would be a good idea to get 2 copies of this ST-12, especially if you can get it for the MSRP. They are very cheap. So that's it for this video. If you stayed up to this point, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.